Hi there, welcome to Nepi Invest and welcome to March 27, 2025. There's about 31 minutes left of trading today on an expected red day. So no surprises today. It could have been worse. NASDAQ was down a fair bit, if I remember correctly. How much was NASDAQ down? 1.83%. Dow Jones only down 0.31%. So a lot of times we do follow the Dow Jones Industrial a little bit more closely than the NASDAQ, but on the ASX today, we have seen the tech sector down 2.62%. So no real big surprises. The best performing sector by far has been mining. So again, mining has done a fabulous job for the ASX, in particularly gold. I think even iron ore had a pretty good day based off BHP share price. Okay, so the agenda for today's video, we'll have a look at the ASX today, go through the best and worst performing sectors, indices, and also companies, have a look at the best and worst performing companies, and then we'll go through the top 5 stocks of the day. And I have to thank Stu Percy, I'm pretty sure it's Stu Percy, who mentioned, Stu Percy, where are you? There it is. BGL, Bellevue Gold, trading halt, downgrade. Yes. And that does, as I mentioned in my reply, probably explains why Developed Group fell late in the day. So, obviously, Bellevue Gold and Developed Global is in my top 5 stocks. Helios is also in my top 5 stocks. Share price of that company is up over 10% on an investor presentation day where they mentioned a special dividend and a little bit of a trading update. FBR is also in my top 5, Neuron Pharmaceuticals, and The Reject Shop. Just outside of my top 5 is Mesoblast, so I might just mention Mesoblast fairly quickly. And then after I've gone through the top 5 stocks, I do have one question I want to answer, and that is from Mace552 in regards to The Reject Shop, which I think is an interesting question. It's not an interesting question, but we have to be aware, like you and me, particularly those who are experienced, forecasters, experienced investors, that there's a lot of newcomers to investing and they don't understand how the market works. And this is a great question because it does, I'm going to explain how the market works. Anyway, so let's have a look at the ASX today. Yes, and so a negative day, not unexpected. Tech plunged on open. In fact, if you have a look at this, all the indices have been going sideways all day, which means the bears and the bulls have been fighting each other. No one is winning, but that's okay. Best performing sectors today, energy, utilities, materials, and staples all up. So a little bit of defensive there. I would say staples are defensive. Maybe utilities could be described as defensive. I'm not sure energy. That's just up and down based off uranium, coal, and also oil. By far the worst performing sectors, IT, real estate, discretionary, and telecommunications, all down by more than 1%. In fact, real estate and IT down by more than 2%. Banks, not the best day either, down 0.47%. Could have been worse, I suppose, but a pretty good day for gold and mining. And again, a bad day for tech. XTX down 2.62%. Okay, so let's move on to the best and worst performing companies today. Top gainers and top losers. At the top here is going to be the Reject Shop without a doubt. So I'll talk about the Reject Shop later. Up 109.37%. I just mentioned that I'll be talking about this company in the top 5, but also because of that comment in the comment section. Other than that, Lycos Metal, share price is up 81.82%. I actually did have a look at this. They've done a placement at a discount, not a premium. I don't know, maybe Noise, fairly small company. I've never heard of it before, that company, but we can move on. RareX released something interesting 2 days ago. Share price dropped yesterday, rallied today, and that is what you see for these type of companies who go up a significant amount one day. They can go all over the place after that. Other than that, nothing much to talk about here. COG Financial Services. This is probably only one I'm going to just briefly mention. I don't think they released anything. I could be mistaken. Or they did release something, change in substantial holding, change of director's interest notice. So it's not marked as price sensitive. That's probably why I missed it. I'm just saying if they disposed. Cameron McCullough disposed of some shares. I don't know what's happening there. I'm not sure if that's the reason why the share price has rallied. The reason I just want to look at this one is because the share price has been going down for a while, and I was thinking maybe, yeah, maybe this is a breakout. Getting close to breakout, very big volume coming through today. So it has something to do with that. It must have something to do with this change in substantial holding. Let's just have a look at the summary today. Course of sales. Oh, some very big trades going through. If we go to the start of the day, anything big there? Nothing big. But a lot of volume coming through today. Okay, so I've definitely missed something with COG Financial, unless it has something to do with the change of directors' interest notice and change in substantial holding, GEGM. Anyway, so let's have a look at this one, GEGM. What is that? Investments Pty Limited. They decreased their holding by 20%. No, 10%. On market crossing. This was that today? No, this was yesterday. Oh, that volume, that really big volume. Oh no. Okay, that big volume was that. Okay, so this chart actually does look interesting just because of the day it's had, and the share price looks like it's trying to turn. So I'm actually going to put this into my watch list just because it looks like, for some reason, I can't add this to any watch list. I don't know what's happening. Yeah, I used to be able to add this to my watch list, but I can't anymore. So I'm going to have to do it manually. So I'll put it here and add COG. There we go. Okay, so interesting for COG Financial. Anything else here? No. And notice I'm going through this fairly quickly. And there's Helios down the bottom. So I'll talk about Helios in the top five stock part of the video. Top gainers by market cap. Meridian Energy, Helios, Mika Metals did release something today. That is another company I'm holding, but it's also gold. So the share price might be up 5.6% just because gold's up. Smart Parking's been all over the place. Same with AMA Group. Reject Shop, talk about that again. So nothing of note here. So although Pacific Edge is up 13.6%, fairly low turnover. So let's move on to the top losers today. And FBR, which is another company I'll be talking about. So we can move on. European Metals up big yesterday, down. Same thing as Rare X. So you might be saying and thinking, if European Metals is down big today, it should be up big tomorrow. That could happen. I'm telling you, that could happen. Ecograph, the same thing. Up big yesterday, down big. In fact, it's up big the last 2 weeks and down big. So maybe this is the end of the fun for Ecograph, or it could just be a little bit of a correction, a little bit of a pullback. Yeah, no, I wouldn't be doing this at all. I expect this to happen eventually with Ecograph, and today could be the sort of the end of the trend. So the trend killer, maybe. But there's no announcement. Now, I do like trend killers when there is an announcement attached to why it might be a trend killer. For Ecograph, I just think it's just a little bit of too much hype in that company. Other than that, Genetic Cinches down. A company I do like, but I don't follow it as closely as I used to. And Firefly Metals. Was that down big yesterday? Or was that up big yesterday? I'm pretty sure this was either in the top performing or the worst performing. No, it was in the top performing. So up 6.7% yesterday, down 11.16 today. A pretty big company as the rain tumbles down outside. Pretty big company. I was shocked it had a market cap of 500 million. And yeah, don't know why it's down big today. Unless it released something. Firefly Metals, did they release something today? They did not. Exceptional drilling results to upgrade Green Bay Resource. And that's it. Now let's have a look at top losers by market cap. Pro Medicus down. Okay, so interesting group of companies. Notice a lot of tech here. So Pro Medicus down. I'll still probably say there's a lot of, I wouldn't say it's overvalued. Yeah, I could say that. It's expensive, and I'm not shocked Pro Medicus falls on days like this. Tours all over the place yesterday. Someone did mention in the comments that the next few days is going to be important for tours, and I actually do agree with that. See if I can find it here. Probably can't be able to find it because I never can find something. Yeah, here we go. Chris and Caroline says next 3 train days will be key for tours, and I sort of did agree with that. If I was in this for just a trade, and the share price is down. But I wouldn't be surprised if tomorrow's share price is up 10%. And that's just what can happen when there's a lot of volatility in a company. Zip down 7.4%. This is a company I was trading. I don't trade this anymore because share price has, the share price has definitely turned negative, or the chart has turned negative. So this is the first time I looked at Zip chart for a while. And this was a trend killer. Talking about trend killers, here is one. So on the 30th of Jan, share price of Zip dropped 25.4%. I can see a little bit of a bounce a few weeks later, but the share price has dropped significantly since that trend killer. It's gone down from 250 to 175.5. So another trend killer there. A lot of these other companies, I'll consider these tech companies. Catapult, share price has been a beautiful uptrend, probably still an uptrend, but this, if the share price continues to fall, this could be a sell for me. So I'm trading this. Share price hasn't been doing much over the last few months. So we need to see the share price starting to rise before I take profits in Catapult. So actually quite a few interesting companies here. Orthocell down, Findi down again. Let's have a look at a chart of Findi. They did a capital raising last week on top of a really good announcement. And I thought maybe that was a mistake. And then the share price popped up when they announced they went back to trading. And I thought, okay, no, it's not a mistake. But share price has really dove since then. So I do think it's a mistake that they did the capital raising on the back of a really good announcement. If they just released a really good announcement, share price, I think, would be more like $6 than $4. So a little bit of upside missed for Findi. And the chart, look at this chart. There's nothing to be excited about Findi at all. It's just a company that has a nice spot in my heart because the only options I've ever had were in Findi, and I exercised those options at 90 cents, and then I sold those options at like $6. So very happy with that. And that's about it. I was trading Paradigm, not trading that anymore, so we can move on. Although I also sold their options as well. So Paradigm Biopharmaceuticals was the second time I've held some options, but I sold those options as well. Okay, so let's go to the top 5 stocks of the day. But before that, Mesoblast have started selling Ryoncil into United States. So this is an interesting move. Now, the next thing I want to see is how successful selling Ryoncil is in the United States. How much money are they going to get? I don't know. So I have been trading Mesoblast. I'm now out because of overweakness in the market. It has driven the share price down. Share price did actually increase on open, or just after open. Went to a high of 229. So let's have a little chart for Mesoblast. They did mention how much they're selling Ryoncil for. Share price has bounced or did bounce off $2. That's the important level for Mesoblast, in my opinion. I was thinking of maybe getting back in for a trade at $2. There was a nice 10% bounce, but I don't know. Just because of the overall weakness in the market, this has an opportunity to fall from here. I don't know. If we see market become more positive, maybe go into another bull market, this is definitely one that might go, move back or rally significantly, particularly if they release something really positive. When I say something positive, I'm talking about financial. So really good, like Appendix 4C. After they started selling Ryoncil in the United States, if they could become cash flow positive, that would be amazing. Turning point for the company. I doubt they could get that far in the next few quarters, but you never know. Now, on to the top 5 stocks of the day. Coming in at number 5, we have the Reject Shop. Share price up 109.52% on the back of a takeover. And this was a takeover at a pretty big premium. A few comments in relation to this. I'm pretty sure there would be. Let's have a look. So they're going to answer that question. And there we are. Rick Thiele and the Reject Shop takeover at $6.68, premium of 122%. And this is a really interesting one. Directors have said shareholders should vote unanimously for this one. And I would think, why? That's a no-brainer to me because of the premium. The last time the share price was at these levels, let's just go back to Reject Shop chart. So this is, I believe, a Canadian. Dollarama, I believe that's Canadian. Dollarama, and it seems like it's probably the same vein as Reject Shop. Dollarama. Yeah, there we go. In fact, yeah, Canadian dollar store retail chain, headquartered in Mount Royal, Quebec. So it looks like the Reject Shop, we're going to have to start learning French, Canadian French. Biggest has been Canada's biggest retail of items for $5 or less. So it looks like Reject Shop really fits into this company's business model. Anyway, so I'm not going to open up 117-page document, but it is at a pretty good premium. And the reason I'd say this is a no-brainer, because if you have a look at the weekly chart for the Reject Shop, share price has been all over the place. Share price significantly high back when I started investing. Share price went to a high of about $18 in 2010. So a lot of interest in this company, but just based off this chart, this is not a high quality company. But the last time share price was this high at the takeover bid was back in 2022. So it's a reasonable takeover bid, double where the share price is. Now, my only issue, this was a potential trade. They did release something positive. The half-year results were pretty good. Share price popped up 19% on the day. Share price pulled back, and I saw this pullback, and I went, "Ooh, this could be a nice little trade." And that trade has gone off the table with this one. So maybe I should have been a little bit more proactive with this one. And those who sold on this pullback probably kicking themselves right now. But anyway, it's another company off the ASX, but to be honest with you, it's not the sort of company I would own for any long period of time. It's just a trading company. Anyway, so that's Reject Shop off the table soon. Anyway, so if the takeover bid goes through, next coming in number 4, we have Neuren Pharmaceuticals. Share price up 1.42%. Now, the reason this is in the top 5 is it's not the sort of announcement that gets me excited, but I actually did open this up because I am a shareholder of Neuren Pharmaceuticals. This is a long-term hold for me. It's going to be a long-term hold for me because I bought in quite a few years ago. I took profits, and the way I consider Neuren Pharmaceuticals, it's what I hold in Neuren is just my profits. In fact, it's significantly less than the profits I've gotten from Neuren Pharmaceuticals. So I have no problems holding this for the long, long term. And it's in my portfolio where I just don't look at the chart or the share price at all. But I will have a look at their announcements. And this is an interesting one. I did like this. And it's not that I think this is going to be successful, but it's what they're trying to achieve. I don't know anything about this condition. It's called hypoxic ischemic encephalopathy, HIE, which I'll call it from now on. And this is interesting is I don't know anything about births. And a lot of times when a child is birthed, this is just according to this article, they don't get the oxygen. So this is either just before they're born or just after they're born. They don't get enough oxygen, and that can really hurt the baby. Of course it can. And so these sort of babies have some neurological or neurodevelopment disabilities, that sort of thing. So hopefully this does help. In fact, it's not only oxygen according to this, it's also blood flow before or shortly after birth. 2 to 3 in every 100,000, 2 to 3 in every 1,000 births in high-income countries, 10 to 30 per 1,000 births in low and middle-income countries will be affected by HIE. Currently, it looks like they do hypothermia. So they put the body or the baby into cold water or something like that, and that does help. So some of the what it can lead to includes cognitive impairment, cerebral palsy, seizures, that sort of thing. So definitely on the right track, but I'm not sure how long this is going to take because I started following Neuren Pharmaceuticals in 2011 with Rett syndrome, and it took them 12 years to get that into, for that to get through all the stages, all the trials. So these sort of things can take a long time. So that's why I don't get excited about these sort of announcements. But it's just really interesting learning about something that I've never thought about before, ever. And I wish I could pronounce what it's called. Hypoxic ischemic encephalopathy. Encephalopathy. Okay, the last bit has to be pathy. Encephalopathy. HIE. Now, let's have a look at the chart for Neuren. Some people used to complain that I could not pronounce Neuren right. Neuren. Sort of like tours. I say tours, but if you really have a listen, I have heard some people pronounce tours as to us. So it could be that as well. But when I start pronouncing a name, I keep pronouncing it that way. Otherwise, I get confused. Okay, so the chart for Neuren, share price is actually in the downtrend. Share price in the downtrend. So if I was trading this, I would not be trading it. Yeah, if I was only trading this company, I would not be in it right now because the share price is in a downtrend. If it falls below $10, $11, that would be negative, and we need to see a little bit more. Well, what can you say? The company must release or has to release something positive, I think, to turn around the sentiment and the trend of the share price. Anyway, so that's Neuren Pharmaceuticals. Coming in number 4, I think. Yeah. FBR used to be called, what did it used to be called? Brick. Fast Brick something? Fast Brick. FBR. Fast Brick. I can tell you what it used to be called. Again, this is another company that I discovered many, many years ago. I want to go back to, say, 2016. Fastbrick, yeah, it used to be called Fastbrick. Fastbrick. I thought it was called something else as well. Fastbrick Robotics, that's it. Fastbrick Robotics. And then they changed the name to FBR. I'll be honest with you, I reckon Fastbrick Robotics is a better name. Anyway, so this company has always had this promise. It's a story stock. It's still a story stock. And in my opinion, FBR have to find a way to monetize their technology because it is exciting technology, but they need to find a way to monetize it, and fairly quickly, because the share price is at a really bad level. So they've done a placement, and they've also mentioned a corporate update. So I did have a look at this. So pretty big placement, $6.3 million placement, and that is going to increase the shares on issue by 628. Now, that's another problem with FBR is the shares on issue. If you have a look, so 5.06 billion. So it's moving towards 6 billion shares on issue. I do have a problem with that. And one of the bad things about that many shares on issue is, look at the share price. It's at 1 cent. So it's at a level where I'd never even think about buying shares in this company because it's at a bad level. So they're going to have to do a share consolidation, probably at least a 10-to-1, preferably 100-to-1. So they get share price back up to, what's that? So $1 if they did that. And that means they could get their shares down to 50 or 60 million. 500 million probably is okay. But anyway, so yeah, so the placement was done at $1, not $1, 1 cent. That's why the share price has dropped. So pretty big discount to the capital raising. And I've always been thinking, I've always thought when you have these sort of situations, when a company or an individual takes part in a placement at a significant discount, say 1 cent, and then the share price just drops to 1 cent. Why? My question would be, why do we do that? But I can understand it because they get more shares at a lower price. But anyway, they've also done a corporate update. Interesting corporate update. They've decreased the spending. Through these measures, FBR will reduce its ongoing cost by about 70%. So restructuring, save about 2.3 million. No, restructuring exercise will cost 2.3 million and result in a more sustainable cost base to reflect the company's immediate goals. So the founders have agreed to a reduction in salaries and fees. Now, my question is how they need to monetize their technology. So a robotic technology company, and they've mentioned, where is it? Company remains focused on multiple near-term catalysts, including continuation of Hadrian X, market entry strategy with Liebherr, and phase 1 commencement with Samsung Heavy Industries. They also mentioned something else. Yeah, discussions underway with parties operating in the steel, mining, energy, and construction industries to scope robotic solutions using FBR technology and R&D capability. So the main thing for me is now monetizing that technology. I want to see that. Because I'm a little bit more risk averse these days than I used to be. I might have been more excited about this company in those days, but I just want to see the company monetize their capabilities or their technology. So that's FBR. Share price down 41%. And let's have a look at the chart. So I really first discovered this company probably about 10 years ago, their technology. So that's how long it's taken so far to monetize that technology. It might take even further. So if you have a look at the weekly chart, all the way back. I'm not sure when they listed, or maybe it wasn't that long ago. Maybe it was like 2000. Yeah, maybe it was. Maybe it was more like 2016, 17 where I discovered this company. I can't remember exactly when, but the share price has dropped a lot. And this is what the share price is now the lowest it's been, even during, did get down to 1 cent during the lows of COVID-19. There you go. So that's where the share price is now at the lows of COVID-19. So maximum pessimism. And if we just actually go back and just have a look at the daily chart. So on the 17th of February, share price dropped 43%. What happened again? There was something to do with there was some sort of option that was not honoured, or I forget what. But they should have, they really should have done this capital raising probably at the start of the year, and they could have got or did the capital raising at 3 cents, so much less dilution for shareholders. But still, it is what it is. Coming in at number 2, we have Healius. Share price up 10.69%. We're in the closing auction. They had an investor day today. I'm just going to open up the investor presentation. I thought I did open up, but it's not up here. It doesn't. Oh, it opened up really quick. Good work, Comsec. Maybe you've been listening to me. I will not go through this whole investor presentation. I think all I want to talk about is found on page 5. Here it is. Introduction and corporate update. So they did sell something, and with the funds of that sale, they have decided to give a lot of that cash back to shareholders as a special dividend. So $300 million subject to Lumus sale completion, 41.3 cents per share fully franked, franking credit of 17 cents per share, or 128 million. So that's one of the reasons why the share price has popped up, because some shareholders go, oh wow, a dividend. But again, dividends aren't free. So when the company goes ex-dividend, share price is going to drop by that amount. So they aren't free. Maybe the market is thinking, oh, this is better than what we were expecting. I can see that, maybe why the share price is rallied. But again, this is not the sort of situation I will participate in. I am not the biggest fans of these special dividends. What the company is telling me is they don't know what to do with the money, which is fair enough. But I just wish there were management out there who had really good ambitions, maybe not good, but were ambitious, and they would see that money as a way to expand and grow the company. That is just my thoughts. That's the way I think of special dividends. The company's management just don't have the creative or the nuance or the ambition, I don't know what to call it, or foresight, hindsight, no, not hindsight, foresight. And they're also saying that, you can do better with this money than what we can, which is a concerning thing. Because Warren Buffett, the whole reason Berkshire Hathaway doesn't give dividends back to shareholders is because his whole philosophy is, I should do better with your money than you should do. So I'm going to grow your money at a better rate than what you can grow your money. And some shareholders complain about that, but he's absolutely right. Management of companies, particularly those sort of companies, should be able to grow their cash, the profits, the cash flow at a better rate than what you can do. Anyway, Healius, let's go back to this announcement. I've just rambled on a little bit more. So special dividend. They also did a trading update. So volumes increased 4% to February 2025, and revenue up 6.2%. So maybe another reason why the share price has rallied a little bit today is because of this trading update. Maybe. So let's have a look at the chart. Now, in saying that, their half-year results were quite weak, and that's why the share price did pull back. Yeah, or maybe it wasn't the half-year results. It was the AGM. It was the AGM. That's why the share price dropped 16% in November, the AGM. And yeah, nothing to be excited with this chart at all. Maybe the only thing you could say is the share price has at least reached a bottom. But the share price will even get lower when they go ex-dividend with those special dividends. Anyway, so not much interest in Healius for me. Now on to the stock of the day. 2 stocks, Bellevue Gold and Develop. Let's first have a look at Bellevue Gold. Thank you, Stuart Percy. Share price is down. They went to trading halt at 2:38 p.m. last night. That's not really night, that's afternoon. And not the best trading halt. Not sounding good. So we know this is going to be negative because they've mentioned it's going to be negative. Trading halt is requested pending the completion of a process of review and verification of gold production outcomes from the Bellevue Gold project, which may result in a downward adjustment to its production guidance. So more than likely, this is going to be a downgrade. And it's really interesting that they went on a trending halt in regards to this. So I'm not sure that's going to be positive. Now, actually, that's a bad way to say it. I think this is going to be really negative. I think it's going to be really negative because they've gone into a trading halt. So we can't really look at how the share price has performed, but we can see that already the selling will come in when they go back to trading. But this did cause the Developed Global share price to drop. You might be saying, why? Why? Because if you have a look at the revised company presentation, I'm hoping they mention Bellevue Gold. So Developed Global have these mining projects, about 3 or 4 of them, but they also have a mining services division, and they have an underground mining services. I just want to see if they actually do mention Bellevue Gold in this. I'm hoping they do. Here we go. Yep. In fact, I'm not sure this is what I wanted to see, but first tender, Bellevue Gold, and were awarded the $400 million contract. So more smarter investors than me saw Bellevue Gold go into a trading halt, knew that this could negatively affect Developed Global. So immediately we saw a lot of selling coming in for Developed Global, and I was wondering why. Why is the share price of Developed Global falling? Had fallen, and this is the reason why. Now, they did announce or release an announcement at 1:20 p.m. important market update to do with Bellevue Gold, and they have mentioned more than likely this won't significantly affect the company. So Develop's mining services division is contracted at Bellevue Gold operations to the end of calendar year 2025. Bellevue Gold can extend a contract a further 12 months from the end of the period at the sole election. Blah, blah, blah. The relationship between Develop and Bellevue is very strong in all areas, and the cooperation at the operational level is achieving record mine physicals, with March quarter development meters and ore tons mined both forecasted to be 20% above the December quarter's results. And Bellevue Gold is up to date with all payment terms associated with the mining contract. So this was the occasion or situation where the market just, I wouldn't say panicked. The market went, oh, uncertainty, risk, sell. Sell first before answering any questions. So if you have a look at Developed Global's chart, you'll notice there was a lot of selling at about, would have been about 1:40 p.m. my time. There it is, a lot of selling coming in at about 1:48 p.m. And the share price just dropped, went from 310 down to 278 fairly quickly. And when they released this market update, share price bounced. Yep, there it is, the bounce today. And you can see the reaction from the market, a little bit overblown on the downside. And when they released the market update today, Developed Global, the market reaction was a little bit too optimistic, I suppose, because then we saw selling coming in. Anyway, so let's have a look at Developed Global's chart. First of all, in fact, this is a nice one. I actually took a trading position in Developed Global just because the share price was around about or just above this nice little support level. So I bought some shares at $1.97, not expecting to hold for the longer term, but lo and behold, the share price has moved into a really nice uptrend. So this is just a fortuitous situation where I bought some shares, and the thematic or the theme, the reason I bought shares played out, but I kept holding them because the chart turned positive. Bellevue Gold, however, is another story. So even though gold's doing really well, doesn't mean all gold companies are doing really well. And this is the chart. I would not be surprised if the share price drops significantly below $1. Now, it all depends on the production update. And if it's a significant decrease, significant downgrade, yeah, wouldn't be surprised to see the share price drop 20, 30%. But remains to be seen. We have to wait until then. Now, you can't do anything about it now if you're a Bellevue Gold shareholder. And funny enough, I was thinking when the share price did get to $1 back in January, that could be a nice buy. And it sort of was a nice buy because share price did bounce from that. Anyway, on to the one question I'll mention. Maze 552, how is it possible for a stock like Reject Shop to close at 315 and open at 662? Is buying allowed between closing and opening, or is this opportunity only available to a select few? No, you cannot. Well, There can be some buying and selling, but that's like cross trades, that sort of thing, and a broker, that sort of thing. This is just new information. That's all it is. New information was released, and that's the reason why the share price increased. They were takeover bid announced at 8:35 a.m. So just before the market opened, well, hour and 30 minutes before the market had opened. And most of announcements are released before the market opens. And that is why the share price of a company can increase or decrease by a significant amount on open, because majority of announcements are released before opening. So it's all about new information, and that is the main reason you'll see a significant rise or drop in the share price. So you're not being, there's no nefarious things going on with the market. This happens all the time. So no fund managers got in reject shop at 315. So this is just new information. That is all it is. So it's just congratulations to those who were holding the reject shop yesterday, because they're able to sell the shares today at 100% gain. Okay, that is all I have for today's video. For those who have left comments, thank you. And for those who have not answered back to your comments, sorry, but that's the way it goes. If you do have any questions, any thoughts, leave those in the comment section of this video. Otherwise, I'm not a financial advisor. If you need financial advice, make sure you seek out someone who is qualified and can speak to your own financial needs. That's it for this video. Have a good day. Bye.